Hello everyone, today in this video we went over a bunch of stuff about Etsy, how to do your product research, and basically being able to understand the platform a load more and how to do that. This is probably going to be one of the most helpful videos for those who are just getting started on Etsy, or you're trying to scale your stores right now and you're just maybe sitting at a few grand a month. This video was taken from a call we had in our Discord a couple weeks back, so if you are doing POD, digital products, or dropshipping on Etsy, we have the #1 Etsy Discord in the world, so I guarantee if you join it, you're going to gain something. It's free, so click the top link in the description to join now. Okay, so welcome people. So today we're talking about everything to do with product research, going through listings, avoiding deactivations. By the end of this call, we got 35 people in it. So hopefully by the end, we will have everyone understanding a little bit more about how to do research correctly, how to find winners, and actually what is a winner as well, because if you're doing market research and you're just like blindly researching, you don't even know what you're looking for, then you're not going to get anywhere. So you have to understand firstly what a winner is. What are we learning? I feel like a teacher. How to read, understand the platform, how to do product research, not like an MBC, finding bestsellers, what supplies tools to not use. I mean, you guys can read this if you want. Understand the platform. Okay, first, understand. This is one of the things that I think nobody actually focuses on. I put a voice note in the private channels for VIP the other day, and I was just talking about how everyone focuses too much on the short term and no one actually focuses on the long term at all. So what I mean by that is, so everyone's focused on trying to make money this month rather than trying to make money in, say, 6 months time. If you focus on understanding the platform and actually learning, so just understanding like the basic metrics, like what everything means, and understanding what the customers want on Etsy, then you're going to go a lot further than if you're just focusing on how can I make money, what niche is just going to print me the most cash, like just ripping niches. If you want anything that's going to be long-term and sustainable, the best way to do it is not by just ripping products. Opinions on seasonal stores currently running a Christmas store that's gaining potential. However, on right after Christmas it'll drop 100%. It's like selling t-shirts. T-shirts are going to do best in the summer. Hoodies are going to do best in the winter. You're probably not going to get any sales on a Christmas store in like January or something. So, I mean, that's pretty common sense, though, isn't it? Really, you don't need to ask me that question. We should know this. But yeah, that's one of the things, right? I was going to start a Christmas store this year, and I was like, no. You're going to work hard for about 2 months, and then you're not going to get any value out of it after Christmas. Once you're banned, is your SSN banned forever? Can you use it again eventually after waiting some time? Okay, so it depends on a couple variants, first of all, because sometimes your SSN can get banned. I'll tell the guys in VIP later, but sometimes your SSN can get banned. It just depends what you do, basically. There's a couple different things. You can avoid it 100% easily. It's just like you need to know what to do, basically. But you can, it's the same with the UK or anyone in the EU. You can avoid an ID ban. So if anyone's banned in here or has been banned in the past and you want to get back on the platform, you can avoid ID bans. However, it's probably best to know what to do before you get banned so you can avoid getting an ID banned. But yeah, understanding the platform. Okay, so this is probably, I think, the most important thing. If you're starting to sell on Etsy right now, maybe you've been selling for a few months, you probably still don't understand the platform at all. So if you focus on like reading what the customers are saying, so let's just do something real quick. Let's go on Etsy, right? I don't know, let's just find some random products. What I mean by understanding the platform is, firstly, you're looking at the product images, you're not just looking at them. These are real product images, real life, white background, whatever. You got to understand why they're doing these things. So this is obviously a pretty good store, looks pretty legit. 7k sales, not too bad, on 40 listings as well. When you're doing product research, the things you need to look for is the ratio between sales and listings, because if they've got 7 million listings and 1,000 sales, it doesn't mean anything. Obviously, you don't want to copy this store. But this has got 40 listings and 7k sales. Yeah, you can see, okay. This has got 40 listings and 7k sales, which is a very good ratio. And if you're looking at smaller stores, which are doing maybe, they've got like 100 sales, but 100 listings as well. It depends on how long the store's been open, but if it's been open for like a month, that's pretty good. But if it's been open for like a year and it's done 100 sales, then obviously you don't want to look into it, because basically most of the listings are going to be pretty rubbish. Please record. Don't worry, I am recording. It's okay, I think. Okay, yeah, so figure out why things sell, figure out what is selling as well. Try to put yourself in the mindset of, also understand the customer demographic. If you haven't already, just Google customer demographic of Etsy. However, when people are doing this, they often get misleaded and they think, oh my god, I need to sell to people that are 40 years old. No, you don't. I have one store which is targeting like teenagers. So I have one store which is literally targeting maybe ages 13 to like 25, because even though that's probably the smallest demographic, it's both like a male and female target audience. Even though it's probably the smallest demographic on the platform, there's still demand, and there's a lot lower competition. However, one thing you got to be aware of when you're selling in these lower demand like niches, you're going to be capped, so you can't sell more than the demand. So imagine you're selling in a niche, maybe like, I don't know, home decor for teenagers or something, and the amount of volume of like money going through in this niche is maybe like 15k a month, right? You've got to remember you can't sell more than 15k a month in that niche. So if you want a store that's going to do 100k a month, that's not the niche to go into, if that makes sense. When I find something that has demand, I want to sell that. Should my listing be exactly the same, or should I do a little bit different? So if you want some real good advice, so many people just rip products, right? Let me just take these product images. Let me just copy everything they've got. No, that's probably not the best thing you want to do. So let's go back to this listing, for example. My mindset, if I was going to sell this exact same products, I assume they're not selling the humans. I think they're selling the clothes that they're wearing. My mindset going into selling this would be, I can do so much better than they're doing. In my opinion, this listing isn't like crazy good, especially their cover. It doesn't look that good. It's all a bit boring, to be honest. Like different scenarios of wearing the clothes as well. They show the clothes, yeah, it's useful. They don't show, I think if I was going to list this product, I'd show someone wearing it like just looking comfy, you know? Because they're like, oh, okay, two people having fun. But no one actually, the reason people buy this is because it looks cool, yeah, and they want it to be comfortable. They don't want to wear something that looks like paper or feels like paper, you know what I mean? But yeah, so you got to, when you're trying to like rip a product, if you're going to sell the exact same thing, sell it better. Don't sell it the same. So think about, what can I do better, shipping, etc. There's so many things that you can do better on, like, because this is a 40-year-old woman selling this. So if you're struggling to find anything that you can do better, then that's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, if we look at delivery costs, so you could 3PL to the UK because they're obviously based in the US. I'm guessing 90% of their orders in the US, but if you sold it to the UK and did good shipping prices, then it'd probably be pretty cheap as well. So you could definitely 3PL on different locations for this. And it's £142. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that. Oh, so they're charging for, this is like a £150 product. So if you want to sell something like this, you can tell there's clearly quite a lot of demand, especially in the winter. Go at it at a different angle, I'd say, if you want to sell something similar. Okay, if you don't understand the platform, you're going to be stuck at £200 a day. This is very real, because you're not going to understand how to actually scale past this. Yes, you can find products that are winning. Yes, you can find products that are going to make you a little bit of money. But if you want to hit big numbers, you need to sell products that aren't already selling. And that's how you're going to run the best margins as well. If you have competition, then your margins are always going to be lower. With product research, there's two things you're researching for. There's two reasons you're doing the research, right? And you got to figure out when you're researching, which one is it. The first type of research there is research within your niche. So like, say you've got a store already open and you're just doing a little bit of research within your niche, or like in similar sub niches, to find what's selling. So that's the first type. And then the second type of research is research for a completely new niche, where you're just like browsing the platform, just looking for winning products, essentially. Firstly, if you're doing research within your niche, there's a couple of things you should know. And it's basically what I've just been saying, is that you don't always want to rip their products. However, you can just rip products. And what I mean by rip products, because I might be using some terminology that you don't understand. So if you do not understand the words I'm saying, or if I'm talking like too quick or something, ask in chat, please. Put a message, say I don't understand what rip products means or something. So ripping a product is literally just say I found that pajamas or whatever we were looking at on AliExpress and I just sold the exact same product. So I'm saying, if you're doing research within your niche, you don't have to just do that. You can just sell products that are doing like very similar. But yeah, you don't always have to rip stuff. And if you want longevity, then the way is not to rip products, because that's how you're going to end up in a load of trouble. Can you please name the top 5 listings? Can you please name the top 5 things you usually can do better on most listings? Well, I mean, we can have a look, right? We can have a look through some listings. Let's just have a look at a couple of listings, and I'll find some things that are pretty rubbish. So first things first, we're just looking at these listings, right? Think when you're looking at this, what ones stand out to you the most? Because the one that stands out to you the most is probably going to be the one that's doing the best. And you got to put yourself, when you're doing this research, you got to put yourself in the shoes of a customer. You don't want to be in the shoes of a seller. You got to be in the shoes of, say this 40-year-old woman right here, this blonde girl. You got to be in her shoes and thinking, I want a cute bag. I want a cute bag that I can wear when I'm walking. It's gonna be okay in the rain. It's gonna hold my dog treats and my dog toy. Is it gonna be big enough to put my phone in it as well? Is there enough pockets? That's what I'm looking at here as a customer, right? That looks pretty cheap and Chinese. And actually, this woman, she makes 60k a year, so she makes a decent amount of money, so she can afford a nice bag. So she's not too worried about getting the cheapest product here. She's not getting a £3.95 bag. So she's thinking, I like this. Although, first things first, what I'm going to say is this listing is pretty rubbish because of the lighting. If you look at the colour, it's so grey and dull and boring. If they took this in like the middle of the day in the UK in the summer, this listing would probably have like a 10% higher click-through rate, and ultimately it would have a higher conversion rate, because if your listing looks more colourful and bright, I'm not saying excessively, by the way, this is such a minor thing, but like, if you have your listing and it just looks like grey over here, it looks like all cloudy and horrible. Just think about the customer psychology, right? If a customer's scrolling and they see something that's bright, happy, and like sunny, they're going to think happy, nice, cool, I want to buy it. And if you imagine you're just taking something taking pictures in a really dark room versus taking them in a well-lit room. That's the sort of comparison we're going for. So yeah, that's the first thing I'd improve. Pricing is pretty good on this. However, I'd probably go to, I don't like having stuff at $5.95. 95 is fine, by the way, like as a suffix for the pricing. 95, 97, I'd go. I wouldn't do 99. I just think 99 looks too. Everyone does 99, you know, you got to be different. And I don't like doing stuff at $5.95. I either do $4.95, $7.95, or $9.95. Sometimes I do 12 or like $2.95. I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but hopefully this makes sense. I'm not too sure. Okay, $3.95 for postage costs as well. That's just pretty standard as well. This is one of the things with understanding the platform. You need to know what the local shipping costs are for legit sellers. So I know, because I do some direct dispatch myself, the legit, like what most legitimate UK sellers who are like selling products for themselves sell, the shipping price is $3.95. I think that sentence made no sense, but what I mean is, for most UK products and most UK sellers who are selling and sending stuff out themselves, the shipping price is $3.95. So that's something you need to know, because a customer will basically expect that shipping cost is going to be $3.95. And you can even apply this to stuff which is quite blatantly dropship products for customers targeted in the UK. You can charge a $3.95 shipping, and the customers won't be too bothered if your main target audience is the UK. And my main target audience is the UK, so I know a lot about the UK audience. I'd hope someone who's selling in the US and selling to US customers would know a little bit more about the US audience, about their shipping prices. However, if I had to take a guess about US shipping prices, I think mainly the US shipping prices are like, maybe sometimes it's $10 depending on your state, or it's free. But I think there's more free shipping in the US than there is in the UK. So if you want to charge for shipping, you could probably do it in the UK easier than you could in the US. And that's a pretty easy upsell as well. Let's read the description. Okay, this description is pretty rubbish. I'll talk to the VIP guys at the end about descriptions in full, because there's some pretty good stuff you can put in here that isn't here as well. Okay, reviews are nice. And how we're going to understand the platform? We're going to understand the platform by reading the review. What is this customer looking for? This is a fantastic funky bag. That's what they're looking for. Amazing quality and style. You don't really want to look at, say if we're actually trying to analyze this customer's review and find out what they're looking for. You don't want to look for what they found out when they've received it. You want to look for why they've bought it. So if they say the quality was really good, it's really strong, you don't really care about that, because that's not why they bought it. They didn't know the quality was going to be amazing. Emma's service was outstanding. Customer service, okay, cool. But why did they buy the product? And it was essentially the reasons I was saying earlier, right? Lots of room for bits and bobs. So I was saying, can I store my phone in here? Can I put my dog treats or dog toys in here? It's exactly the stuff I was talking about. I hope you can understand where I'm going with this stuff, because it should all sort of like click in your brains, I guess. Because I don't think, if anyone is in the call right now and you already do this stuff, let me know. But I don't think many people do this stuff like as much as I am, at least. And by reading these reviews, you can just find out, okay, I can sell stuff that has a lot of space, it looks interesting, it looks different to the rest, I want to be different, it's not the same as every normal dog walking bag, whatever, etc, etc. But other than that, this listing's quite good. You got real product images, shows it in action, cool, nice, pretty good. However, it is vertical. I would suggest that you do either square. I suggest that you just do square images, don't do the vertical ones, just because it fits better on a phone as well. Cool, nice, that's a pretty good listing. This is a pretty good listing as well, I like this. Nice, cool, this is good. This is a good listing. The only issue is it's in plain backgrounds. I think if you did sort of like a hybrid between these two listings, someone like these sort of backgrounds is nice, but plain backgrounds aren't the best. Try to always avoid using a plain background. Even if you add if you use AI to add like a shelf or something in there to make it look just like it's got textures to the background, then that'll make it look better. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Where was I? Yeah, so just mainly focus on it. If you're researching within your niche, try and do everything better than your competition. Let's talk about researching for a new niche. So there's a lot of ways to go about it when you're researching for a new niche. A lot of it is just blind researching, just scrolling the platform. There's multiple ways you can go about it. The way I personally go about it is I literally just, most of the time, I'm just sitting on the platform scrolling, just finding niches, etc, etc. How do I research? Platforms I use. Etsy on platform, yes, of course. And if you're only using Etsy for your market research, I suggest you go somewhere else. Go to AliExpress or something. There's also platforms like Gumtree and eBay, but you can use them. They're fine. More like local sellers are on there. But yeah, I mainly use Etsy and AliExpress. I think AliExpress is really good because obviously you've got most of the dropshipping products on there. And if something's doing well on AliExpress, and it's sort of like an Etsy themed product, so it looks kind of unique. It's not just like a, I don't know, TV screen or something stupid, like a phone case, something, metal phone case or something. If it's something like actually unique and interesting, and it's selling on AliExpress, most likely it's going to sell on Etsy as well. So you can bring a lot of the products across from AliExpress onto Etsy, and most likely it's going to do well. Chrome tools I use. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so Chrome tools I use for product research. You can probably see here, I've got the reverse image search tool and I've got the AliSeeks tool. So, I don't know, maybe let's just have a look at some random niche again. Silver jewelry. I use the reverse image search tool to find basically where else it's being sold, or find like where I can source this product from, for example. So say we're looking at this looks kind of legit handmade. I think they might be taking their own images, but we'll see. So yeah, we can see on eBay. So first things first, it's £10 on eBay, and then it's £16 on here. Free shipping on both. So straight away we found a source for this product if you're going to sell it. So that's why I use the reverse image search. This is called, I don't know, Revi, I think it's called Revi. Revi reverse image search. So if you want this tool, just search Chrome extension Revi. It's pretty good. And the other tool I use is the AliSeeks tool. So if you want to see if a product's basically on AliExpress for like sourcing it, etc., see if they are a dropshipper, then you can do it. And for this product, you can see, as I said before, they've probably taken their own product images because these do look pretty unique. And also, it doesn't really look like a Chinese person's hand. Not to be racist, but that is often what you'll see is if you're doing like jewelry. If it looks like this, you can just sort of tell it's just all dropship products. Like all the Chinese jewelry, like finger rings and stuff, they all take pictures in the same way. So it's quite obvious if you're scrolling the platform. You can see, if you know jewelry as well, I don't really at all, I'm not in jewelry, but I know a little bit. You can tell which are dropshipped and which have they've taken themselves. But they're still doing pretty well. They're still doing pretty good numbers. So yeah, 25k sales on 80 listings as well. This is very good. 25k sales on 80 listings. And also another metric you need to look at when you're researching is something that I'll do basically with every store I show interest of or look at straight away is the recency of the reviews. So you can see they're getting a lot of reviews a day. What's their AOV? Have a look at a couple of the listings. So it's £16. AOV, which is decent. It's not bad. It's pretty cheap though. But yeah, this is what I'll do. So I'll see how recent the reviews are. They're getting a few reviews a day, which probably means they're getting like 10 or 3 or 4 times the amount of reviews and sales a day. That's how I calculate it. And they've been on Etsy for a couple of years. So essentially, they've done 25k sales in a couple of years, which is pretty good. Can you look at mine? I just started. I don't have much. We'll do store reviews and audits with the VIP guys because it's going to take too long to do it with the free guys. Suppliers for people just starting out. We have a few in VIP, but if you just shoot me a DM, I can send you one, which is decent. What's AOV? Thank you for asking. AOV is average order value. So I think it's more of like a Shopify term, I don't know. But AOV, say for this store, we're just looking at the average AOV of this store, like complete average across all products. So let's sort by most recent, okay. So their AOV is like £14. It's basically, the only reason I use AOV is to take an estimate of how much they're doing a month. Because if there's a store that's done 10k sales in a month and its AOV is like £1, then that's not that good. But if it's done 10k sales in a month and its AOV is like £150, then that's crazy. So you're not just looking at the amount of sales, you're looking at how much they're selling stuff for. And what you might find as well is that there's one product which is like doing maybe like 10% of the sales per month of the whole store, and it costs like 3 times as much as the other products. So you're not just looking at the stuff that's selling the best, you're just looking at the stuff that's basically making the most money. How many products a day should I list? I always suggest you can go up. You should do 1 a day to start with, 1 every 24 hours, and then after that you can go up 1 per week. So that's what I'd say. And after a month you can basically go to like 5 or 6. That's what I normally do if you want. But with listing products, you've got to be careful now, especially with the handmade rampage bot going crazy, taking everything down. I'd suggest going quality over quantity. So don't just list random products, even though you basically got no hope that this product's going to do well. Don't just list it for no reason, because every listing you put out there is increasing the chance of getting your own store banned, if that makes sense. You might get banned. You will get banned if you dump 20 listings in a day. Most likely on a new store, if you've warmed up crazy well, you got a store that's a year old, you probably won't get banned. But for a new store and a new seller account, you'll get banned. Yeah, 1 to 2 a day, 1 a day for the first week at least. Don't do any more than that. And yeah, go from there. We'll talk more about stealth later with the VIPs, so we'll go. Don't worry about that too much now. Okay, where was I with product research? Well, I don't ever be SEO tools. We'll talk more about SEO later, because SEO is a bunch of rubbish. I think personally, all these gurus, they're talking about SEO. No one cares about SEO. SEO is not going to make you rank. We'll talk about that later though. Everbee, I don't use Everbee because I use, as I've just shown you, I just use my brain and figure out the reviews recent, etc., etc. Everbee is somewhat accurate. I guess if you want speed, you can use Everbee, but sometimes it's going to tell you a product that's making £100 a month is doing 10k a month. So, you know what I mean. And I am more accurate than any spy tool out there. So, but yeah, if you want to use tools, I guess it can help you with speed. But if you know the platform and you understand the platform, like I've been saying, you won't need to use spy tools or SEO tools. You just use your brain. But yeah. Bro's going against everything growth in the course. I mean, there's different ways to go about things. You can copy him or you can copy me. Both is going to work most likely because, well, yeah, right. There's different strategies. If you want to run fast, there's not one way to run fast. There's multiple ways to run fast, you know? It's like trading. There's not just one trading method, okay? You have to understand. I learned everything myself. I took like 3 months. I mean, you can listen to me or you cannot listen to me, and then let me know which one works. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, next, let me show you how. I'm pretty sure I've already showed you how. Does anyone want me to maybe do a little... Maybe we'll do a little bit more scrolling. I'll show you what I normally do. So if I was going to research for a completely new niche on the platform, I'd maybe click on, I don't know, something like this. Let's go to home decor, wall art. Most of my stores are in... well, all of my stores are in home decor, by the way. So this is what I'm best at. So what I'll do here is maybe I'll just go to this. Let's have a look. Cool, nice, interesting. 20 plus baskets. It's always a good sign. But we can look at the reviews. First of all, I'm seeing 20 reviews only, and the top review was a year ago, so now I'm not too bothered. But what we can do is we can have a look at the customers, and then we can go to the customers and have a look at what they're looking at. Because often, if you look at the customers and look at their favorite items, they're going to be favoriting the items that they're seeing on the top of the searches, and they're going to be the best sellers. So if you're looking at the customers and what they're looking at, you're probably going to find ultimately a higher ratio of bestsellers. So we can just look at this, for example. Bestseller badge straight away. Some random blanket can probably source this quite easily, or source a very similar one. Doesn't have to be the exact same thing. And then we go to the store, figure out 23 sales, 599 sales, 23 listings, which is pretty good. So I'd literally just scroll like this. I'd have a look around, and now automatically my brain is just, okay, let's look at the reviews. How recent are they? And then now we know that it's good. We look at the AOV, which is okay. The store's probably doing, if I had to take a guess, maybe, I don't know, let's see. I could take a guess how much revenue the store's doing a month. It's probably doing quite a lot. This looks pretty good. This looks a pretty good store. Pretty good niche as well. And after this, I'd have a look around the niche, and I'd see what looks good with the niche. But yeah, if I had to take a guess, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10k a month this store's doing, I think. Because yeah, it's got a lot of reviews in the last. It's got most of its reviews in the last month, I think, or half or something like that. But yeah, so looking at customers as well, go on the reviews, click on the customers' names, have a look through the customers. Sometimes they'll be like this, or sometimes they'll be private. But yeah, often if they're like pretty active customers, you get some good products just by looking at what the customer's favorite. And yeah, basically all I spend time doing is clicking around the platform, looking for stuff that works, looking for stuff that's selling well. And when I'm looking for new niches as well, what I'll do is I'll just sometimes find like a word that I find interesting, or like, I don't know, Spiegelrund, and I'll just Google Spiegelrund, or console mirror. I'll Google console mirror, console, and then have a look at these niches and just go through the niches constantly, and then find something that way, for example. Can you explain what conversion rates are and how they work? So what conversion rate is, first of all, in case you don't know, conversion rate is the percentage of people that view your listing to actually buy it. So say if you're getting 100 visits a day and you're making 5 sales, that's a 5% conversion rate, which is pretty good. Depending on the niche, different niches have different conversion rates. So yeah, it depends on your niche. If you've got a really low conversion rate, like a really low conversion rate would be 0.5%. It depends on your AOV as well, because if you've got an AOV of say £250 or $250, then your conversion rate is going to be lower no matter what. So just bear that in mind. But if you're selling cheap products like £10, $15, then your conversion rate is going to be higher automatically. But yeah, if your conversion rate is bad, that basically means there's either something wrong with your listings, your store, because a lot of customers will have a look at the store and see, does it look new, does it have a lot of sales maybe. I'm just trying to think about what the customer is thinking about. They've got to just feel confident in buying from you, essentially. That's what you've got to try and portray to the customer, that you're legit and you're not just some random seller that's going to take your money. And recently I said to the VIP guys as well, there's a lot of no shippers on the platform as well, especially in some of the niches I'm in. There's quite a lot of no shippers, so you've got to make sure you don't look like a no shipper. That's the last thing you want, is you want the customer to think you're not actually going to send them the product. Can you explain how you get product images? Yes, I can. We'll do that later though. What do you think about home product niche? Rias says no. I think yes. Do it. I mean, why not? There's going to be money in every niche. It's just finding the right products within the niche to sell, essentially. He uses Alex Seeks for product images. No, I don't. I'll drop some real game, okay, in next week, because in the VIP I said I'm testing 2 product image methods right now because I'm not 100% sure if they're going to work or not. So if it works, if they both work 100%, then I'll say them. But if they don't all work, then I won't say them. But I can give you like some ideas of how to get product images. Yeah, I'm new to Etsy in general. My question is, if I start getting sales, do I fulfill the orders with my own money? I suggest you figure out how dropshipping works, because like just do a little bit more research on figuring out what dropshipping is and how it works. Because if you're asking these questions, because I'm not trying to insult you obviously, but I can tell that you're very new. But yeah, we all start somewhere. But yeah, you just got to figure out the basic stuff first, because I want to talk about some serious stuff here. So yeah, I don't want to do like the basic questions. We can do the basic questions in the chat after. Okay, let's go back. So that's product research. Should have helped, hopefully, I guess. Oh, cool. Creating listings. Let's do this. Photos. Compare good and bad. I think we had a look at some already, and I said what was good, what was bad. So mainly just focusing on the lighting and the images as well. And you just remember with your photos, just remember what the customer will be looking for. So say you're selling a dress, right? You're selling a dress for middle-aged woman. You got to think, what does this middle-aged woman want? What does this middle-aged woman want? You got to think, like, this middle-aged woman, she's going to be quite fat and overweight, most likely. So she's going to want to look good in this dress. That's what you got to think about. So you got to show pictures of, in your photos, you got to show pictures of every single person that's wearing the dress. They have to look good in it. They can't look like fat or anything, you know? So it's just basic customer psychology in the photos. Descriptions as well. Descriptions are quite important. Especially, it depends on the product you're selling, but if you can't really show everything in the product images, that's the first thing you want to do. Try show everything in the product images if you can. But if you can't, then just put stuff in the description. You're basically answering questions that the customers may have in the description so that they can buy it straight away and they don't have to message you. Tags are semi-important, but it's the same as SEO. And we're going to talk about SEO next. Can you go over shipping profile? Yes, we can talk about that. Okay. Wait, let me just check. Yes, we can talk about that. So with shipping, it's the same sort of stuff that I said below. You got to kind of know your market to know whether you can charge for shipping. Look at whether your competitors are charging for shipping. If you want to compete on price with some of your competitors, then I suggest you can half their shipping price or something like this. And if you want me to talk about shipping profiles, so I'm assuming probably a lot of you are like dropshipping, obviously, but you're saying you're shipping from maybe the United States or United Kingdom or some Eastern European country when you're actually shipping from China. So what I suggest you do if you are dropshipping, there's a couple of different variants, okay, that you have to understand to do with saying if you're shipping from China. So first of all, if you say that you're shipping from China, you will, I think like 99% of products, they charge a tax of 20%. And it's also the same, say if you're sending stuff from the UK to Switzerland, for example, they charge, I think, a 20% tax as well. So it's basically, unless you're doing domestic shipping, they're going to charge a 20% tax or some sort of tax. Yeah, Etsy charges the tax and they put it on top of every order. They don't take money out, they just charge an extra price. The only reason it's an actual issue is because if you're trying to compete on price, especially in low ticket, say like £30 items, when it makes a fairly big difference, then it's going to make it more difficult to compete on price if you say that you're shipping from China. The only issue with saying that you're shipping from China, to be honest, the customers don't really care too much. 90% of customers don't care that you're shipping from China, realistically. So yeah, but what I would say is if you're doing lower ticket, You can say that you're shipping from a local country. You just have to be really on top with like contacting the customer, telling them where the parcel is if they message you, because you don't want to have a case opened against you. Because if you have a case opened against you, especially now they changed the cases. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but they have changed the way cases work. So you have to put in a tracking code to basically prove yourself wrong, prove the customer wrong that they say it hasn't arrived and it has actually arrived, whatever. You have to put a legitimate tracking number in to say that it's arrived. So if you're doing China dispatch, you can't just do last mile tracking as well, because they know. So that's one of the risks. And if you are obviously saying you're shipping from UK to UK when it's actually from China, just make sure the most important thing is that the customer has their tracking info. Even if you're saying it is from China and they don't think it is, you just give them a partial refund if they complain, because the last thing you want is a case to be opened against you. Then Etsy finds your dropshipping and then they ban you. Something like this can definitely happen. Hasn't happened to me, but I do most of my things legit. Also, another thing to know regarding taxes that they charge, Etsy charges no tax over a certain price. But we will talk about that later to the VIP guys. So if you don't want to know, we can avoid taxes and compete and be legit. Because ultimately, guys, if you are dropshipping, your store most likely isn't going to last long, and we're trying to make you have good stores that are going to last long times. And just try and make sure you're providing as good service to the customers as possible. Will the live be recorded? The live is being recorded right now. How long will the live be? The live will be, maybe we'll go for another, I don't know, half an hour or something. I don't know. It depends how long I talk for. And how many questions you guys have got. The live for some reason won't load for me. Is everyone good on the live? Yes or no? In the Empire Stage chat, please. If the live is frozen, then let me know. I'm changing on the slides. Hopefully you can see. It's not frozen? It's good? Cool. Cool. Thank you, people. Nice. There's some new names in here, by the way. If you guys ever need help, even if you're not VIP, I can still help you in the free chats. If you do want to just shoot a message and at me, try not to DM me, please. I'd much rather if you put stuff in the free chats and added me. I will answer it at the same time. I won't be slower. It won't be quicker answering something if you DM me. So don't. Just put it in the chats. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have in chats, in free chats. So, where does 20% China tax come from? Does it come out the final price? So it gets added on top. So if you so when you list something, put ship from China, then just find your own product on Etsy or click review on Etsy, whatever. And then you'll see that the price isn't the same as what you listed it as. Does it come out the final price, or is it added on top on the scenes? I already read that. I think my wife has just asked, maybe. But I've got the call recorded for you, Henry Jordan, so you'll get it. Especially if you're VIP, I'll put it to you straight away. Okay, let's talk about SEO. So many gurus think SEO. Yes, guys, SEO is going to make your store go to 100k. No. Let me tell you this. And I bet if we got some real SEO people in here, that they're going to contradict me, but I don't care. This is what I know. SEO doesn't make you rank. What makes you rank is you making money for the platform. Let's think about this. So what does Etsy want ultimately? Etsy just wants money. It's a business. They just want money. They don't really care. And obviously they don't just want money today, they want money tomorrow, so they want to build sustainable money. So they're going to rank products which are making them money. If your product has a conversion rate of like 0.01%, then they're not going to rank you, because you're not making them any money, if that makes sense. So basically, Etsy ranks on conversion rate. That's how it ranks. What the hell? What have you just put in the chat? Okay, maybe I shouldn't read this out. Are you able to sell? Okay, yes, you are. I suggest you read the Etsy TOS on those products. To be honest, the main issue is that you can't put stuff in the thumbnail, but everyone does it anyway. And if you get a listing taken down, it's not that deep for that policy, because you're never gonna it's just not too deep. So basically, there's no rules with that niche. Just don't put like, I don't know, penises or something in the thumbnail. Okay. Let's not talk about that ever again. I do know some people that were printing some pretty good cash doing those stuff. So if you don't want to look into it, go for it. We're not looking into it on here, okay? Is Etsy still worth it? No, it isn't. Leave the call. I wouldn't be doing this call if I didn't think Etsy was worth it, okay? And I wouldn't be selling on Etsy if I didn't think it was worth it. I've got other things to do. Is Etsy still worth it? I've done 20k a month already. I've done 20k a month already, but everything I list gets banned. Even links to winning products I save and check them a few days later. They're also 9 out of 10 times deleted, most likely because you're just looking at dropshipping products. And that's like I'm saying, guys. If you're looking at those products, it's not going to be sustainable at the end of the day. And we're trying to do something legit here. I don't know about you guys, but me, I'm trying to build money for the future. I'm not just trying to pump cash this month. I don't care about that. So yeah, you have to look at the right products. You have to understand that if there is a dropshipping product, it's like I don't know, something that's obviously dropshipped, and it's something which a person just obviously didn't design or make themselves, and they're using images from AliExpress. Yes, their listing is going to be taken down. And then if you try to sell the exact same winning products and you're using the same products images, maybe just altered a little bit with AI or something, it's going to get taken down as well. Okay, so back onto SEO. Keywords aren't how you rank. Yes, okay. SEO is good for some things. I'm not just saying it's completely useless. I'm not just saying put your title as a full stop and put your description as a full stop and don't use tags. Yes, use all of it. It will help you. But one of the things I will say is, okay, no, this is not for the free people. We'll say this in VIP later. But, I don't want to say too much. But yeah, so just think about they're ranking on money. They're not ranking on your words. Because realistically, Etsy doesn't care what words, who's putting the best words in the title. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at how much money you're making them. I was going to say something that I could have said, but I forgot. I've completely forgot what it was. Oh yeah, okay, so as on the screen, what do keywords help with? Initial ranking and listing momentum. Keywords will help get your listing off the ground, and it will help target people for your ads. If you're running ads, SEO isn't so important. But it will help just get your listings off the ground. So I do suggest you do SEO. Why not? Because you can, right? It'll help maybe get you like an extra 50% traffic at the start. Like it'll help you. SEO is the only thing that will get you views if you're not running ads, basically. But it's not really SEO. Just, if you want some good advice on SEO, I don't really care dropping good advice on SEO because I think it's completely useless. So if you want some good advice on SEO, don't just use the keywords, right? Because if you're saying if you're talking about, if you're selling a flower dress, I think I said this yesterday, but if you're selling a flower dress, don't just put in the title summer dress, nice cute summer dress, because everyone is using those SEO keywords and not everyone's searching for them. So you've got to write the keywords that are more niche. So say you're selling a summer dress again, it'd be like thin summer dress. I don't know the niche, so I can't really say the keywords too well, but like I think you sort of get what I'm trying to say. You've got to use more niche words rather than just using the big broad terms. And if you want to get your listing off the ground at the beginning, then you probably do a lot better by only using like super niche words than using the biggest words. Because if you just listed something, you're not going to get to #1 rank immediately by using the word summer dress. You're not going to get to the top of that search immediately. So you've got to use the more niche words to sort of like build yourself up. Thank you so much for watching this video. That is the end. I really hope you learned something in the past 45 minutes of watching. And as I said at the start, these calls are a weekly occurrence inside of our Discord, completely for free. So if you did want to join the Discord, top link in the description, go to our Discord, and then every like Saturday or Sunday, we host one of these calls just to help people learn and help people improve their skills on Etsy. If you were interested, top link description, and I'm going to be posting a bunch more Etsy content on this YouTube channel. So if you are selling on Etsy or you're looking to sell on Etsy, this is the one channel you need to subscribe to, okay? In this space, I'm the no BS YouTuber, I guess you could say. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.